Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to FTRL. We are speeding through Season 12 with Round 3 tonight, coming from the Belgian circuit of Spa-Francorchamps. Joining me on comms tonight is we have a commentary tripod, ladies, FTRL Blue Flag and FTRL Switchback joining me. Good evening, Si, and good evening, Zach.
Evening. We've been referred to as a tripod before.
That's a new one for us. Good evening.
So, round 3 already, so we're at the quarter point of Season 12. And we've been treated to two very different but very exciting races so far. One with the last lap, last corner overtake, and last week we saw a quite emphatic victory from Bran. What we're expecting this week then? This is a circuit which is quite universally popular with drivers, although maybe a few people are not too keen on Eau Rouge and Radion.
I mean, it depends who gets past Eau Rouge at lap 1. This is one night we could be completely wrong with predictions, because anything can happen around here. It can be raining, you can spin it in numerous places around here. So, I mean, it's one of those that can throw up very random results.
Indeed, it's looking a bit grey at the moment, but everybody seems to be out on slicks. And not everybody's rushed out, which does suggest it's not likely to rain. We shall see, obviously the big news is that the current championship leader and winner last time out, Brandon Glover, will be starting at the back of the grid this week after he blocked somebody in qualifying last week, so he's got a qualifying ban. He will be doing an outlap just to set get his car set up saved and then be retiring to the pits. So current championship leader's going to have to come through the back. That's putting him in the danger zone.
I mean, it depends how much carnage there is in lap 1. If there's not much, then he'll be alright, but it depends if he does a Cyan performance last season and just manages to park the track so he can get past everybody. I'm sure Si will give us some tips on how to do that.
That was blind luck more than anything. Suddenly became Moses.
First laps are underway. And our first victim has been claimed by Radion, and it is FTRL Cat in the Ferrari. So the Ferrari man has unfortunately gone, which means that he too will be down the lower end of the grid. So Eau Rouge claiming its first victim of the night.
Didn't take long, did it?
That did not take long at all, but Cat known for his electric starts, so he's going to be right in the thick of it come lap 1.
Yeah, well, that of course is one place gained for Bran already.
Indeed.
With Cat retiring first.
What is he like? What is he? There's Bran retiring from the session, so he's back in the pits. And as his home race, let's pick up with the home boy, which is our fellow Edmonds, FTRL Rob Elson. Just starting his first flying lap. He's gone out on the medium, so we're quite seeing a bit of a split in strategies here. One or two guys out on the medium tyre, most of them on the softs though. I think it's a fairly easy one-stopper race, this one, strategy-wise. What are we... Successfully negotiated Eau Rouge and Radion down the Kemmel Straight. Starts to descend from the top of that, just kicks up a little bit of dirt there on exit. We've got one more right hander. So he drops down the hill into No Name. A bit wide there, but again kicks up just a little bit of dirt, but looking okay so far. Into Poo on then, just avoid that curve on the inside. That can very easily claim victims tonight. Neat and tidy so far. Into the chicane he comes. Hugs the Epics on the right and the left. Nice looking lap so far from Rom Elson then as he comes into the double right hander for the back straight section. Not much of a straight there, it's forever in a corner. And he comes flying through, obviously to Blanchimont. Nice tidy lap from Ron. He's on the medium tyre though, but we've got P&P Casa G running that P2 on the medium, so tyre not holding him back. Ron Wilson goes P7. First few laps coming in then. It's F3, or winner in Canada. Continuing his good form, currently sits on pole position ahead of the two McLarens. Iceman ahead of his teammate. Panda leading the Mercedes powered charge with Iron Neon 5th, although we've been told to refer to him as Tic Tac. So, quite why, I don't know.
I remember something on Twitter. I'm sure Bran said that Neon looked like a Tic Tac. I don't. That is something that is in the back of my mind, so I believe that is
that
why.
rings a bell. Yes. So Panda heads Tic Tac with T Smith in P6 and Brutus in P7. So the Racing Points and the Mercedes 2x2. Nexus Cats P8 ahead of Rom and onto the podium in P10. ZE3 has put himself up into P3 now, as we've got the yellow flag in sector 2. Anybody on a lap? Cohandy's on a lap, so let's drop back and pick him up. His teammate currently on pole. Peter's a little bit wide there, and if he just got distracted by overtaking the Alfa Romeo. 16.5 as it comes through sector there. Now onto the back section of the track. These fast sweeping corners through Blanchimont, down into the bus stop chicane. Nice and tidy from Andy. Gets on the power now, another one out on the medium tyres. And he puts himself into P9 for the moment.
It's not bad on the mediums.
So Casa G, 144.1 is the fastest medium lap so far.
It's one of those tracks that, I mean, there's quite a big difference in the tyres because of how long the lap is. So, I mean, I'm not entirely sure what the difference is, but I'm sure it's more than most tracks.
Right, who have we got on a lap? Casa G's done 3 laps on his medium, so he's a... Indeed, so let's pick up the Toro Rosso. Coming to the end of his lap. Stop. Let me go on the inside there a little bit. The kick out from the back. Just lost him a couple of tenths. Drives for the line. Goes P2. Very good lap there from Hijacked.
Who was that? Someone's spun there. Who was that? I just saw someone spin. I feel like I just... Maybe my camera's angle would just be... Never mind. No one spun.
Got like Danny on a flying up, so FTRL Danny of course finished P2 last time out. That fantastic battle between him and F3. What can the Red Bull man do this time? Him and his teammate currently on flying up, so the Red Bulls will be the last two to set lap time. The next aspect, in fact, still in the pits. He's not yet set a lap time.
Can someone clarify if Danny's on the softs or mediums?
He's on the mediums on my screen.
Okay.
And McLaren's there getting very out of the way. Danny's got one of the Mercedes ahead of him. I've been getting a slight toe off the back of him there. Danny drives for the line. Goes P6. So they're within 0.03 of a second of P&P Casa G there, so the two fastest medium shod runners very closely matched. 144.128 for Casa G and a 144.157 for Danny. City Posh drops in behind him, so the Red Bulls now 6th and 7th. take up F3 then. So winner first time out, third last time, and with his current title rival starting at the back, F3 looking to capitalise. He's a bit of a mid-table man previously in FTRL F3. Really coming alive this season though. We're finally seeing the real Felix.
Yeah, I think the comments I made about him in Canada have lit a fire. You know, I think I heard him. I think he may have heard me say that I don't think we'd truly seen what he had to offer, and that he needed to maybe find some consistency in his results. And yeah, he's certainly been doing that.
Really come alive. Ooh, I think he has abandoned that lap. Yep. I think he had a bit of a moment just before the back straights. He pulled out of that lap.
Iceman into the final sector.
Do you know? I'm interested by Nexus Aspect. Currently sat in the pits on the hard tyre, not yet set a lap time. What is he up to? Because he was a bit of another one that was a bit of a revelation last year. Had a couple of seasons in FTRL, didn't really set the world alight, and then last season really started to hit the front, hit the form, some race wins. He's had 2 poor qualifiers. Iceman goes pole, so he goes fastest. Yeah, let's see what's going on with Aspect. He's had 2 poor qualifying runs. He got caught out in Canada, obviously with the weather conditions. And last week said he was just looking to have a lowly qualifying. I think he wanted to start on fresh tyres, but it's an interesting strategy. ZE3 goes round through Puon. Just picks him up there. I think he just clipped the curb on entry. Back end stepped around on him. Just spins to the outside of the track.
Just coming through.
Without any damage. Alright, so a few people on outlaps now. We're getting down to the final 5 minutes. Just Iceman then on pole position. Now we're going to see him battling for his second FTRL victory to add to his Monaco win as FTRL Panda now hits the front. So the reigning performance champion has put the Pink Panther on pole position, or the Pink Panda on pole position. And so he was one that a few people...
That's the man who on his day could take the fight to anyone.
Cassie G is 3 temps up for the first sector. There's a no on the softs.
That's right, Cassie G. Right, there he is. Coming down to No Name. Now Puon, will he avoid any issues out on the curb? A little bit wide there for Puon, but yeah, looking okay. I do apologise if you hear any purring on the stream. Unfortunately my cat has decided to join me. Wants to get up close and personal with my face, apparently.
At least it's your cat this time.
It is my cat, yes. So, while FTRL cats put it in the wall, this cat just wants to join us on the stream.
I was going to say, you haven't been joined by FTRL cat.
Thankfully no, I'm pretty sure I would know if he was sat on my lap. Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
The stream is... Oh, I think he's...
G is invalidated, so it looks like he's out of that one. Hijack then on the lap, currently P4. He's been a bit unlucky so far. Hijack's obviously won the pre-season event, and then has had an unfortunate run in both so far, and damage in Canada, and an accident last time out as well. He is about 9 tenths down, so I think he is going to back out of this lap. And for the final 2 minutes then. Who's on the laps? Co-Andy's on the lap. Co-Andy. Currently going up ready on. Gets through that okay. There's now the car starting to flood out onto track for the final lap. Final runs. Iceman F3, IRL Neon, ZE3 onto the podium. Ron Olsen, Danny, T Smith, City Posh, Brutus, Nexus Cats, Pagani and Aspect all on outlaps. Co-Andy then the only one on a flying lap currently. Casa G in the pits. He's now missed his opportunity as hijacked. And Panda. He's going to struggle to get around.
Yeah, he's going to have to.
Andy's wide there. Yellow flags all around, but I think it's just people getting out of the way of Andy as he comes storming through.
T Smith is going very slowly towards the end of the lap, getting ready. Very slowly indeed.
Oh, Andy very wide there as he comes onto the back straight. Just kicks up the dirt. It's a bit rough and ready this lap. I think he may have abandoned this. It's been a bit scruffy from Andy. Yeah, he does indeed abandon his lap, so we've got most of the field out. Beer is retired from the session. Pick up the Renault of Pagani as he comes to the end of this straight. That starts to plunge downhill, all downhill now. Just kicks up the dirt there on the exit. Going up in the stream there, cheering on Team Pink. So next, so it's now Alex's Aspect got across the line with about 1 second to spare, so he just got across the Co-Andy is finished, hijacked. Panda also done.
T Smith's lap is done.
Iceman is on up there, so I'm going to watch Nexus Iceman. Currently P2. He's got to find about a tenth of a second. Switches back through no name. Flag sector 3.
Nexus Aspect has messed up his lap, so he's going to be starting at the back.
Pagani's gone P9.
I think the Aspect messing up his lap has had an effect on Casa G's lap as well.
Like it.
Not intentional, I don't think, but
No.
Oh, Iceman a bit wide there as he comes onto the back straight. F3 goes P2.
couldn't quite displace the Panda.
City Posh P4.
He is 7.5 tenths up though, Casa G, so this is near enough pole if he can keep it clean. So look at the bus stop to do.
So just ahead of him his teammate, next Iceman through there, he goes, he stays where he is, but after all Danny's gone fastest just in front of him. Casa G goes P3.
Oh, look how tight it is up the top.
Very tight there.
Covering top 5.
Fantastic qualifying effort. And it's FTRL Danny who has taken pole position for Red Bull, following up his P2. So FTRL Danny on pole ahead of FTRL Panda. PMP Casa G will be P3 ahead of F3. Nexus Iceman in the second McLaren is P5 ahead of IRL Neon. In the first of the Mercedes, City Posh in the second Red Bull P7, great qualifying from them as well. TNR ZE3 P8 ahead of Hijacked and onto the podium, rounding out the top 10. So we'll go down the remaining cars on the formation lap. That's qualifying done then, boys, and look at that. They say 1/10 of a second, not even 1/10 of a second, covering first to fifth, 0.085. That is very close. Possibly sets us up for a very interesting race.
Yep.
Of course, the first question is, what kind of conditions are we going to have? Is it dry? Do we have any rain? It is blue skies.
Yep.
Sun is out, so a dry race, and so that takes the weather equation out of it. Qualifying done then. What are we thinking for podiums?
Do you want to go first, Si?
Oh God.
That's no idea.
Like you said in qualifying, calling this one could be hard because we've had some very, very mixed up podiums here in the past. Right. Let's go for something a bit random tonight. I'm going to go with Kasagi to get the win. I think Iceman's going to get a podium, maybe a P3. And I think that Co-Andy's going to have a Stormer. Get P2.
That is interesting. That is an interesting one.
Okay, I'm going to go for Iceman to win. And I'm going to go... I'm going to go for Panda to get P2. And I'll go for Rom to get a podium at his home race in P3.
Alright, I am going to say Panda for the win. I'm going to go Kasagi P2, and I'm going to go Danny for P3. I think. The next one then. What is going on? Why are we still loading? What are we waiting for?
I think we're going to have a restart. I think the lobby's crashed.
Oh dear. Come on, lobby, what are you doing?
Nothing can ever go smooth, can it? Codemasters.
It's not that we don't have faith in you, Danny, we just don't have faith in your internet connection.
That is exactly it.
Yes, it does look like we're about to restart. There's messages going into the chat to that effect. Screaming Panda in the admin chat.
We'll just blame Panda for this one. Panda!
Yep, so it looks like we are
Don't
going to
do that,
restart.
Blame Joe Bonds anymore, so I mean...
Just don't blame Will, you make him angry and it took us forever to make him not angry.
Right, so we are restarting the lobby, so do bear with us. Unfortunately, some people are doing donuts while we wait. So we do apologise. Unfortunately, once again, Codemaster servers have let us down.
What a surprise! This never happens.
So do bear with us while we get this sorted and wait for some new links to come out. So, the Belgian Grand Prix off to a full start. People are just leaving the session, so as soon as get this sorted as quick as we can, and hopefully look forward to a cracking race. So while we wait for everything to kick off then, boys, obviously it's our race tomorrow. How are we looking forward to Spa?
I mean, as long as I can get past lap 1, it should be alright, but...
I'm not going to be fast, but I'm just hoping to survive.
Yes, that's the line. If I can get round over just once. That'll be progress from last season. Did I say last season? Obviously just did the one-off race in the finale to help with the numbers. Didn't last very long, so probably no points, but there you go. Is what it is. Yeah, I think the last time we did it, it was season 10, and it was a wet race, so it kind of made it a little bit more tricky. I think my problem tends to be that I tend to think you can go up Eau Rouge flat out, and you just can't. Or at least with the setups I've had, you can't. So I think you just need. Personally, I think I need to just take it a little bit easy. Just get off the throttle, fully off the throttle anyway. Just try and get the car bounced and then put the power back on again. I'm just going full commitment because full commitment might work in sumos on GTA occasionally. It does not tend to work going up here. Right, some new invites coming out, so bear with us. Just reloading in now. Right, so while everybody comes back into the lobby, I'll get the grid sorted, and hopefully second time is the charm.
Send me an invite, please. I think Panda's forgot.
Oh, how very rude of him. Yes. I will do that for you now. There you are, good sir. Invite on your way. I'll send you another. So, blessed by 19 again tonight. So again, another full grid. We are missing just the one this week, which is our new arrival. So FTRL has stepped down from a full-time seat this season, just to contrasting commitments, and we will be joined next week by iBobliex, I believe is his username. He will be in the Renault alongside Pagani, and we're looking forward to seeing how he gets on. He's got some exams tomorrow, I believe, to prep for, so good luck with that for tomorrow, and hopefully we'll see you on track next week, and we'll be back at a full quota of 20 again, so that'll be 2 in 4 races. I say we're doing very well with numbers this season, so all the changes are working out quite nicely.
Yep, very much so.
Obviously 19 cars trying to get around the source and upper Rouge on lap 1 is, well, a recipe for some action, I'm sure. Whether or not many of those end up in the wall at Radion on lap 1, we shall see. Fingers crossed everybody gets through safely. But we shall see. It is a tricky corner on your own, as I have found, let alone when you're surrounded by 18 other cars.
It's a tricky lap for you and your out lap.
Yes, on qualifying as well. The qualifying one, I can possibly understand the fact it was cold tyres, but the race one, I should have had a bit of warmth in there, but just too much commitment was my problem. Too much commitment. While are we waiting? FTRL's on with his podium prediction. He thinks CJ first, Bendel second, and Super Guy third. Interesting. Interesting zone. Nice. So you're taking this seriously. This is a serious competition with a serious esports league.
It took me a few seconds, and I was like, "Wait a minute."
Oh!
Didn't realise we were. What? Oh, I had a moment there.
Yeah. Morning, Zach. Welcome to FTRL.
Yeah, I had a moment. I mean, I've had 5 days off, right? Give me a break. I've just come back. I'm not awake yet.
After a junkie spirit wants to know, was that Rom signing the tarmac again? I believe it was, Carl. Yes, Rom was doing some tarmac signing last night on GT. Because he did a circuit he didn't know and he got lost. Classic Rom. Hopefully he knows how to get around Spa, so you shouldn't see him going the wrong way at any point.
I'd be concerned.
So, well, anything can happen in FTRL, and it usually does.
So It's one thing I've thankfully never done in an F1 race is forgot where I'm going. Actually, that is a lie. The first time I ever did France, I got lost.
Right, and everybody's readying up again, so we are good to go shortly. Countdown to round 3. Season 12 is on again. And here we go with take 2. I don't know if you two, or either of you two played Project Cars and done the old Spa circuit, the big one from its original format.
Not in a while.
Not in a while. So for those of you who don't know, say Spa. So as for you call Eau Rouge was very similar. La Source, Eau Rouge, very much the same. And then when you get to the Kemmel, back into the Kemmel Straight with the hairpin, where the chicane is, you would go straight on at that point and then do a humongous loop out around the field. I think it was something like 12 miles long, 13 miles long, the original track.
I was going to say, wasn't it like 16.5 k's?
It's a big old track. And then you have to pick up onto the back straight section, and that's where it sort of rejoin. But yeah, so this is still a circuit that feels very true to its heritage, and the fact that it's just sort of built into the side of a mountain. I think it's a track the drivers just really enjoy.
It's a bit like Suzuka. It's a very old-fashioned circuit. I don't think it'll ever. Well, I hope it'll never go off the calendar.
Yeah, so it's probably one. I think it's one of the circuits that drivers across the world just love. Absolutely love this circuit. One that hasn't been ruined by F1 completely, apart from the bus stop at the end. Although the bus stop has long been even in its old format, was a pretty disgusting set of corners.
Just take it away and just make a big long straight.
Yeah. Right,
In fairness, so that would make the entire third sector just a lot straight. So.
Right, last couple.
So it's just Baku Sector 3.
Yeah, basically.
Right, there we go then. So FTRL Danny on his first pole position of season 12 leads us off. FTRL Panda joins him on the front row. Good qualifier from Panda. We'll see those two battling early on. PMP Casa G, who had a storming drive in Canada and race 1, going from 15th to almost take the victory, but had it snatched away at the final corner. Goes off P3 in the lead McLaren. F3, the man who denied him in Canada. P4. Good qualifying again from him, looking to capitalise on Bran starting at the back. Next is Iceman is next up in P5, so both McLarens in the top 5. Definitely one of the strongest teams in the constructors. A lot of people are fancying them for that. And both are in the top 5. They've got a good chance of points finishes here. IRL Neon, P6 in the lead Mercedes, ahead of the second Red Bull of City Posh Blue. TNR ZE3 goes off P8 in the lead Alfa Romeo, ahead of Hijacked in the first of the Toro Rossos. Second Alfa Romeo starting P10 onto the podium. Obviously our pole sitter in Canada. Pagani is P11 in the Renault, starting on the medium tyres, the first one with the free tyre choice. Ron Olsen has joined him in starting on the mediums. He starts P12 in his home Grand Prix, so he'll be looking to get a good result here. T. Smith in the second of the Racing Points, P13, also starting on the mediums. Behind him is the lead Ferrari of Nexus Katz. He's on the soft, ahead of Brutus in the second of the Mercedes, also going on the soft tyre. Co-Andy, size pick for a podium, starting on the mediums. He's in P16. Next Aspect, who tried the one-shot qualifying and messed his lap up, starting on the hard tyre. P17. FTRL Cat crashed in qualifying on his first flying lap. He starts P18 on the soft, and Bran bringing up the rear, the current championship leader, going off the medium compound. Next is Aspect on the hard tyre. Not a tyre we'd normally run. Nobody else going down that.
Not here anyway.
Not a run. It's a interesting strategy from Aspect.
Going with the prediction that really matters. Victims of Eau Rouge. He's guessing 3.
I'll guess 6.
6 in 3-6. Simon, what are you thinking?
So you're 6 and I raise you 7.
Ooh, 7.
Oh,
I'm
God.
going to go 4. I'm going to go 4. Right, so all the cars are on the grid. We await the lights. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Revs are up. And round 3 is go. A good start from Casa G. He's up the inside of Panda already. And looks at the inside of Danny as well into turn 1. Danny holds him off. I've got a camera shot going through the pit lane so I can't see anything. There we go. So Danny holds the lead. Panda down 2. Here comes Eau Rouge. We've got one of the... Oh, what? That's Z3 gone.
There's an Alpha gone.
One of the Ferraris has gone as well.
There's Cat's gone.
Iceman. Oh, Iceman's managed to keep it.
There's a Mercedes round.
Rom's gone as well. Rom has gone as well. So 1 victim and 5 spins. 4 spins.
Yeah, 4 spins I think there was.
Well, Bran is already up to P12 after the Eau Rouge.
And Coandy up to P11 as well. So your prediction could be on. So FTRL Danny is the only man not to lose or gain a position. Holding on to his P1, Casa G up into P2, F3 into P3, Panda down to P4. Bad start from him there. I think Casa G got up the inside of him into La Source and F3. I think he switched back on the run down to Eau Rouge. Well, it all kicked off behind him. FTRL Cat, despite spinning at Eau Rouge, is up 2 places.
Oh, interesting.
I think he got away without any damage. I think Rom and possibly Brutus picked up damage from their spins.
Corner might be making a move on Pagani here.
Into the bus stop for the first time. Danny got 8/10 of a second lead. Casa G's got F3 right behind
Cat's
him.
hit. Oh god. Cat's hit corner. Corner's now blocking the track because of that.
Brand's been given 10 seconds for trying to avoid the parked Alfa Romeo in the middle of the chicane.
Oh, and Brand's demon starts. Come to an end.
Cat's just missed his braking point now, going out of the bus stop.
Cat's in the pits, and for Danny T. Smith in the pits as well. All kicked off in the mid-pack again.
Brand's overtaking Coandy.
So Brand up to P9, that's 10 places in 1.5 laps. Less than 1.5 laps. They're storming off from Brand for that 10-second penalty. It's going to hamper his finishing result. We shall see if he appeals that later on.
I imagine he will do. Yeah, not that instant at the bus stop. I have to say was all on Nexus Cats there, braking too late.
Up in the lead after Aldani continues to lead. Casa G, F3 and Panda all in close attention though. Top 4 just eking away a little bit. There's about 1.5 seconds back to IRL Neon in P5. And he's got City Posh and Hijacked up behind him. And a bit of a gap back to Pagani in P8. There's Brand now trying to close him down, and he's bringing Coandy with him. Top 10 there. They've got a bit of a gap, 3 seconds back to Iceman, the first of those who spun on the opening lap. So 4 in the lead with 3 chasing them. And DRS is enabled, so now Danny is in a vulnerable position. He's going to want to get a good run. He is pulling away from Casa G down to Eau Rouge. I expect Casa G to be right with him by the end of the straight. Into the DRS zone he comes. Casa G's gaining already. DRS is now wide open. Danny defends the middle of the track. Casa G happy to just sit in this lap. Brand making a move on Pagani further down. He's up at the P8 now, he's up 11.
City Posh not quite close enough to Hijack to ever go into Lecom.
Now Casa G has got eyes on first place. F4 just breaking away a little bit more now. It's 2 seconds between Panda and Iron Neon in P5. So at the moment it's from these four.
For City Posh going into Puon.
That's got Hijack interested. Let's come onto the back straight then.
Big wobble for City Posh.
City Posh sounds like his car's
Hijack's
very
got
lively.
run now.
Yeah, Hijack gets it done before Blanchimont. So one Red Bull leads, the other one looking very lively under the driver's control. Back down to where he started, so the Red Bull's back where they started. And well, in the lead of the race, Danny continues to lead, but Kasji in close attention. F3 has got Panda behind him as well. Now they're looking very close as well. And we're going to see Kasji make a move this lap. A little bit wide there. He's got a good run though. He's got a very good run through Eau Rouge. Already to the inside. F3 defending from Panda in the background. We've got a change for the lead. Panda on the outside of F3. F3's going to hold him for this lap.
And he's going to get past Pagani.
Whoa, big wobble there from Panda. Oh, Cat's gone.
Pass Eau Rouge. One go with T Smith and see if I can double check.
T Smith and Nexus Cat's out on the hards. T Smith. Good past Cats. Yep, oh, there he is. Yep, on top of Radion.
Yep.
Hijacked
So
picks up a penalty. Kasji in the lead of the race now in the McLaren. Half a second back to FTRL Danny. They've now got 1.1 seconds over F3, so F3's out DRS range at the moment. Can these two break away? Panda's going to want to be getting a move on. Can he pass F3 this time round? Into the bus stop at the end of lap 4. Danny right on the back of Kasji again. Panda right on the back of F3. Gap now 3.3 seconds between Panda in 4th and Iron Neon in P5. Still got the two Red Bull liveried cars behind him. Onto the podium, it passes Aspect P12. Kasji, they're a little bit wide through Eau Rouge, and that means Danny's now got a run on him.
Through there.
Panda's not as close to F3 behind him. Danny retakes the lead. F3 defending. Hijack's gone around the outside of IRL Neon and up into P5. That's their City Posh just keeping a watching brief. Bran in P8 trying to hunt them down. Coendy P9. Pagani in the final point scoring position at the moment. Next is Iceman trying to close up again after his first lap misdemeanors. Connor onto the podium in P12, having just dispatched Aspect. And T Smith, a very lonely P14 at the moment. Got a couple of seconds back to Cats. With Rom in P16. And Brutus a little bit further back, our final runner in P17. So now Hijax has been released from IRL Neon. Can he do anything about that gap to Panda? It's 3.5 seconds. Top 4. Lead 2 have a 1.5 second gap now. F3 just dropping away a little bit at the moment. Danny Kasji, they're going to just trade the lead.
Neon having a look at Hijacked at the bus stop.
It's at the inside. Hijack hangs on around the outside though. Great defensive driving there. He's going to have a look into La Source. He is indeed, and he will get it this time. Again, Hijack tries to hang on around the outside. And I'm going to go side by side down to Eau Rouge. Hijack gets the drive on the outside.
This is going to give Neon the DRS.
Kasji retakes the lead meanwhile. Got a good run out by Rouge again.
City Posh is right there as well this time.
Around there to
Gonna
the
go
outside.
through wide.
Oh my word. Hijack backs out of it very sensibly. And City Posh,
City Posh gets both of them.
7th to 5th. IRL Neon stays where he is. And Hijack loses out to both
City
drivers.
Posh pulls to make a Hackenden move.
It does indeed. Fantastic overtake there. Great move from City Posh. The car's come back to him handling wise a little bit now. Looks a little bit more planted. And behind them, Brand's continuing to close up on those medium tyres. And he's bringing Co-Andy with him. Oh, Hijack's round at P1.
Hijack.
Hijacked. Ooh. Dropped
He's
him down.
quite close. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, Iceman came flying round and he went.
Well,
He
yeah,
seemed to
my
go
heart
solid on my
just
screen. I thought, oh, sure, there's going to be over which is a very big accident. Thankfully, the game goes him. But that has dropped Hijacked out of contention for the top 5. He's down to P11. Looking for Jack. G continuing to lead. Danny in close attention while Nelson picks up a penalty. Hijack retakes Iceman is in the pits. Got 5. T. Smith for the penalty now as well. So Danny gets a decent run. He's a little bit further back though. DRS is now open. Decides better of it this time.
Neon City Posh. This one's going to happen.
Bit of a squeeze, but IRL Neon retakes P5. These two have just dropped Bren a little bit now. It's back to 2.5 seconds, so Brand's had a wobble somewhere on that lap. P7 after 7 laps. I think I'll take that from 19th on the grid. The 3 medium runners now 7th, 8th and 9th. They're going to be going a little bit deeper into this race.
Doing that faster compound at the end of the race. City Posh with another big wobbling pull on. Gathers it up but loses a bit of time to Neon in the process. Yeah, the back end of that Red Bull starting to kick out again.
Do that through the section here. He's gaining. Is he going to have a look into the bus stop, or is he going to wait for the straights after Radion? He's going to wait. Tucks in behind. Brand's starting to close back in again. He's got it down to 1.4 seconds, so he's taken a second out of these two now. We're starting to see the tyres switch over. Lead of the race. Oh, Danny very wide there. Oh, Danny. And a penalty for his trouble there. That was very wide. Through Radion, almost into the barriers. Gets it up F3.
Again.
Repeat of last lap. This time it's City Posh taking the position. Hijacked recovering, he's now up to P10 and starting to close on Pagani. 1.4 seconds between them. And then we've got onto the podium recovering after his accident. There's not a lot he could have done about that. Going P11. Aspect P12, the guy who started on the hard tyres. And behind him, everybody's stopped apart from Brutus now on the hard tyres. Hijacked has got Pagani. Coming into P1. So Pagani must have had a moment there because Hijack closed 1.4 seconds there. He takes P9. Race leaders meanwhile coming through Blanchimont. It's Kasagi who continues to lead. FTRL Danny though in close attention but having picked up his first penalty of the race. Kasagi pits, Danny as well. F3 carries on, Panda carries on. They're looking to run a lap longer. City Posh will carry on. IRL Neon pits. Brand goes through. Wendy goes through on the medium tyres. Hijacks carries on as well.
I think it's a little bit closer this time.
Yeah, he's gaining a little bit. DRS now open.
Imagine City Posh would have gone the extra lap with Danny in the box.
Oh, Panda thought about it. He was
bank.
Yeah, so he managed to end up on the outside. F3 holds on. I think there might have been enough of a gap between City Posh and Danny for him to double stack and it not have affected him, but yeah, probably better safe than sorry. F3 a bit wide there through No Name. And that's giving Panda a run. Come through Poo on for the 9th time. F3 very wide. Got yellow flags in sector 1. I think Romelson may have had a moment. He's just dropped a position to Brutus. Oh, yep, he's going again by the GT pits. Looks like he's missing some of his wings here. Rom has had a moment. And Rom has retired from the race, unfortunately, so the home hero, fortunately, out of his home Grand Prix, as our race leaders F3 and Panda pit. City Posh in behind him as well, and that will put Bran into the lead of the race from 19th on the grid. G and Danny coming around the source. Where do F3 and Panda feed out in relation to them? Coming out just behind Pagani. So that extra lap has cost them a little bit at this stage of the race. But will that fresher tyres at the end come back to them? IRL Neon and City Posh have resumed battle as well. Coming out of the source, IRL Neon has just taken back. It's currently P8. And City Posh will have the DRS.
Oh, F3's just kind of forced Pagani off there.
Pagani with a weave, he's not happy with that.
It was a bit of a lunge in my eye.
I think he was more kind of hit up with the fact that he was worried about Panda, but can't really force a move. He's entitled to be there, so
he's going to wait for his opportunity. Don't need to get racy at this stage, although he's obviously going to be keen to get after Danny and Casa G, but they're about 4 seconds up the road, so F3 and Panda have really lost out from running that extra lap. He's wide now, he looks a little bit ragged at the moment, F3. Just needs to pick his moment. He's got fresher tyres. Oh, again wide there, he's so close to that tyre wall. Through Blanchimon, he's got the overspeed to the outside, but Pagani squeezes him. He's good play into Panda's hand here, yeah.
Defends well.
Switch back, trying to do. This could be free wide. Panda could get both of them here.
Meanwhile, Danny and Casa G are nose to tail heading down to Eau Rouge. Danny's got a good run here, he'll have the DRS a second as well. Pops out to the outside. DRS wide open.
Them, I think.
We're going to go 3 wide again. There's no room for 3. There is now. I think F3's done enough of the defensive work there. He might just hold it off. Panda around the outside though. That is a brilliant overtake.
Great move. Great overtake.
What a move. F3 trying to come back now. Squeezes him out. FTRL Panda take a bow. That was a fantastic overtake. And finally clears F3. But they are now 5 points.
He tried that a couple of times earlier in the race and just couldn't quite get it done, but it wasn't taking any prisoners that time around.
Well, not indeed. Fortunately, because they've been that lap extra they ran and been stuck behind Pagani for a lap, has cost them 5.4 seconds to Danny and Casa G. So these two now squabbling over what will be the net third place. Can they do anything about the two ahead of them though?
Well, after the pit stops have shaken out, you've still got Neon and City Posh glued together.
Oh, onto the podium's off. At the sector 2, I think that's just...
It's poo on again, isn't it?
Is it poo on?
I think T. Smith's had a moment as well, a little bit further round as well. The next, yeah, I think he's had a moment as well. Did they come together? Not quite sure. Meanwhile, FTRL Danny now closing on Co-Andy. He can make his stop. Jack passes Aspect, who's into the pits. Just starting to inch away from Casa G here. He's not quite at DRS range, using the draft from Co-Andy. F3 back up the inside of Panda, who's trying to defend, but now F3 retakes it. So up after losing the position to Panda, he's taking it back again. This is a fantastic battle here, these two. F3's been doing an excellent job of defensive driving so far, managing to hold off Panda even with the DRS. Panda got him last time around though. Expect this battle to continue. Meanwhile, Danny now stuck behind Co-Andy. He's allowed Casa G to close back up again. Not quite able to break away. And Co-Andy currently first and second yet to stop. Casa G are very racy. Over the back of Danny, coming into the bus stop. Oh, Danny's got a bit deep. Casa G around the outside. He's going to squeeze him a little bit. Casa G holds the inside though. Danny back in front, but Casa G's thinking about a move into the source. Not this time. I think Danny maybe got a little bit unsighted by Andy in the break-ins over the bus stop, obviously on the fresher tyres. Andy had to brake a bit earlier. Then he gets stop. Just caught Andy out. Danny out. Casa G with a good run. Are we going to see 3 wide again? Down to the inside of Andy. Casa G going to follow him through. Oh, just about gets it done. There we go. Gets it now. Casa G there didn't want to get stuck behind Andy for the rest of the lap to allow Danny to escape. 3 and Panda continuing to squabble. IRL Neon and City Posh continuing to squabble as well.
Aspect on T. Smith as well, a bit further down.
F3 with a penalty for multiple warnings. Throws that one in favour of FTRL Panda.
Aspect going around the outside of T. Smith, breaks later.
Got some interesting comments from Zom in the chat there. Joe Burns to bin it at turn 1 and then loses. More than likely, yeah, in fact, yes, indeed. Dutch to sneak a win 2 corners from the end, called it first. And Ascoms, will Lee finish tomorrow without wing damage?
No.
It's more should be, will Lee finish tomorrow with all his wheels on the car?
It should just be, will Lee finish?
Yes. And the answer to that is probably no, but if it rains, who knows? Probably no.
Bran and Andy have pitted.
So that releases Danny and Casa G to battle for the lead again. Where are they going to filter out?
Panda is also in.
Interesting. Somebody on.
That's a win change.
Did he pick up damage? Then he must have clipped F3 at some point. Leon and City Posh have now got Bran for company after his pit stop. City Posh to the inside of IRL Neon, and Bran's hoping to get involved as well. He's up the inside of IRL Neon. Oh, it's just slots in between them. But Bran, after his pit stop, And the stint is now P5. Andy in P7, so that the alternate strategies worked out very nicely for those two. We're now on the tail of City Posh on fresh softs. Looking in a very strong position here. Interesting, Panda's gone back onto the mediums as well. I thought he might go onto the softs to the end there.
Maybe he didn't have any fresh sets left.
Maybe not, maybe not. Brand's got so much more speed around the outside of the Belgium on that sudden. Wow.
That's ballsy.
Wow. Brand Glover around the outside into Belgium on that was impressive.
God almighty. Wouldn't be doing that. Whoa.
Brand now behind his title rival. He's got 9 seconds to try and close on F3. He's now got clear track in front and behind. With his race long rival pitting for wing damage. Meanwhile, lead 2, FTRL Danny has enough of a lead over Casa G to not have to defend, even with the DRS. Are these two just saving themselves for a late race scrap? Casa G cruising around in low ERS. Danny's got no using no ERS at the moment, so these two just saving themselves at the moment. No pressure on behind. They've got 5.5 seconds to F3. Brand looking a tyre there as he comes down the hill. It's City Posh, who finally looks like he's dispensed of IRL Neon, and he now has Coandy closing up behind him as well, also on the soft tyre. It's very well done for Puon. Hijack recovered to P8 after his early spin at Puon. 4 seconds off the back of the train ahead of him that he was battling with earlier on. Panda, after his stop, has come out in P9. Ahead of Iceman on the hard tyre. Pagani behind him on the softs. Now is he going to be able to close on? That's 9.7 seconds. Can he catch Iceman over the next 6 laps? This Aspect running in P12. He's in the medium tyre, so he's not run the softs, interestingly. Interesting strategy from Aspect this year.
And he's just done a switch back on Neon.
Indeed. Out of the source. Using that tyre advantage he's got. Ironman's going to stick with him. Oh, Neon sideways, very sideways up Eau Rouge. He's done very well to hang on to that. Got that all kinds of crossed up. And he's very quickly going to have the man he was battling with earlier in the race. Hijack Gaming back on his tail. That was a very impressive... Andy's picked up a 3-second penalty though for multiple warnings. He's now in pursuit of City Posh. Bren has got the gap down to 7.5 seconds to F3. He's currently hanging on to the final podium place. I wonder if F3 is moaning about driving standards quite as much as he was last week. If anybody's seen Connor's video. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead seems to have been reignited. Casa G around to the tail of Danny. Come through the bus stop. Starting on lap 17. Goes into high ERS mode then, so run down to Eau Rouge. DRS is open, he's close this time. doesn't look like he's going to make a move. No, he's happy. In fact, he's not even opened his DRS that lap. Just happy to sit in for the moment.
Hijack right on the back of Neon.
Yeah, Neon's had another bit of a wobble through Eau Rouge.
As he cooked his tyres, hijack to the outside, uses DRS. Oh, Neon almost came over too soon there. Just avoids hijacked. And hijacked retakes P7. So the big movers then, Bran Glover P4 currently up 15 places, Andy in P6 is up 10, and next is Aspect up 5 in P12, although no points for him currently.
At the moment, Pagani's going to finish P11 again.
He's not taking big chunks of time out of Iceman despite being on the soft tyre and Iceman on 10 lap old hards.
Now, I just
Oh!
raise...
City Posh is off!
I'll raise it in a minute.
Oh god.
And he's gone off.
That's an interesting place.
Yeah, I caught him going off back, well, facing the wrong way into the wall, so I don't quite know what happened.
A weird place.
Has he caught the curb on the exits? Maybe? City Posh has just been caught by Coandy. And that, unfortunately, has damaged his wing. And dropped him back to P10. I think he'll need to stop for that. He's very wide there for Blanchimont.
At the moment, Bran's got a few penalties. That puts Coandy up to P4.
Well,
So,
that was one thing I was about to say about Bran, is that one of those penalties is a 10-second one, isn't it? Which I'm pretty sure he's going to dispute after this race.
Yeah.
So that City Posh pits out of P10. That promotes Pagani into the points. So maybe not going to finish P11 this week.
go on, Pagani.
Bran, meanwhile, has got the gap down to F3 to 5.8 seconds, so he's still charging.
Danny's managed to get a little bit of a gap.
Yeah, so he's out of DRS range. I think Brutus
Brutus
maybe had a moment.
moment.
Oh, yep, he has.
Yep, Blanchimont.
Danny now, is Danny making a critical break now? He's got out of DRS range at the moment. Cassidy just inching
Ron
closer.
Cass is closing in.
Inching away again. It's just steady at over a second. It's back under a second now. Brutus pits from P16. Just sunk back in the Danny with the fastest lap there, so really putting the hammer down. A bit wide of the source though. He is out of DRS range as they head up. Eau Rouge. And he's out of DRS range.
I think Danny's got help. I don't remember seeing any penalties.
I can't say I've seen one yet, actually, now you mention it. IRL Neon pits. I think those tyres had possibly cooked. He's going on to soft.
Aspect's got penalty, so that's going to allow Pagani a little bit of breathing space for. Get 2 points in the moment now.
IRL Neon right out behind next to Suspect on those soft tyres. So he'll be looking to charge back into a points position. Danny has kept that gap out of DRS range now. He's inched out to 1.3 seconds now. This could be a critical break. We don't know whether Cassidy has got a penalty or not at the moment. Danny has at least one. FTRL Danny's another one that's kind of always had pace, but usually because the game kicks him. We've never really seen it, but this season, again, another one that's really come alive. I think that race in China last season as well, really kind of, and Germany as well actually, where he started to really sort of come alive again, hasn't he? Really seeing the,
Yeah, it's nice to see him having a bit of luck for a change.
getting that gap out to 1.8 seconds now, really starting to put the hammer down.
Brown's within 5 of F3, but he's running out of laps.
His tyres will probably be past their best now as well. He's been charging for 6 laps.
Oh, City Posh from Blanchimont. Oh, he held it. Another overtake. And
He's leading now 2. Oh, he clipped the curb on the inside of Poo on there. Danny, don't do that. Do not touch that curb. So Danny looking very good at the moment. He continues to push as he's trying to get that 3-second gap. 2.1, 2 laps to go. Just needing 9/10 of a second to be short. IRL Neon seems to be on the back of Aspect. So going on towards No Name then, those fresh tyres. Aspect giving a bit of dirt. Centre's Poo on. Oh, Brown with a penalty. Multiple warnings. I'll say that will probably put him behind Andy at the moment on the 2 penalties alone, without the 10-second penalty to worry about. He definitely had at least one other penalty now. IRL Neon right on the back of Espec then as they come onto the back straight. Pagani just a second and a half in front of them as well. Danny's nearly got that 3-second lead that he needs. IRL Neon then to the outside of Aspect into the bus stop. Goes deep on the brakes. That's the inside for the second part. Aspect trying to fight around the outside. He has the DRS into the source and he retakes P10 back into the points. City Posh with the fastest lap there, just showing the pace that he has. Oh, Neon's a little bit wide there, Rouge. And a penalty there. And that's put Aspect back onto his tail as well.
Danny's extended that lead by another 3 or 4 tenths.
It's 2.5 seconds now. He needs another half a second or so. Sticking in this battle at the moment between Brutus. Oh, Brutus has gone, unfortunately. So the other Mercedes retires while his teammate scrapping for the final points paying position. Pagani also tantalisingly close as well. P9. Neon on the cut. Oh, Aspect's gone round at P1.
oh god.
He clipped the curb on the inside. He's got some wing damage as well. T Smith goes round him. T Smith on 19 lap old hard tyres.
Danny's got that gap, he's near enough. It's just over 3 seconds.
He's got it at 3. Can he buy himself any more time? Looking very good at the moment. Continuing to push. It's been a very, very good race from Danny. Good battle early on with Cassidy. Took his opportunity.
Started from pole, remember.
As well, he has indeed. It's now at 3.2. A little bit wide there through No Name. This is very tight at the moment.
Oh god.
Cassidy as he
Too many closer.
2.966.
It's all going to go down to the bus stop, I think.
Indeed, can Danny get a good run there? Cassidy continues just to chip away. Danny's had a better run to the back straight. Now it's opening up again. Oh, this is so close. We saw it at Canada with yourself, Zach and Ross, and the first race of the season done by was it 4 or 6 tenths of a second? There wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Danny gets a very good exit.
Who's it going to
Hits
be?
the line. It is Danny wins by
he's got
1
it.
tenth of a second.
Oh.
Fantastic job after all, Danny. Well done. F3 comes home in P3. Bran will be P4. Although we wait to see what happens with the penalty situation. We know Andy will jump in for now. So Andy goes P4. Williams third and fourth.
Hijack might jump around.
No, he stays where he is. So Hijack P6, a good recovery from him, but Panda jumps him on penalties. Iceman, after opening lap dramas, comes home P8. Pagani's just got a hold off Neon for P9. And those are your points paying positions. T. Smith, stunning stint, 21 laps on those hard tyres, pitting on the end of lap 1. He gets jumped by City Posh. He misses out on the points places after that late drama. Next is Aspect home in 13th, next is Cats 14th, and our final finisher will be onto the podium. He's coming around through Blanchimont now.
Oh, Pagani got 2 points.
Indeed,
So-
indeed. And
Oh, I have. I just seen something quite disturbing happen with Pagani and Iceman's cars. I'm loving it.
right, unfortunately we can't get our race winner in because his family are asleep. Danny, it's 9:15. Come on, man.
I know!
What on earth is that all about?
For a second I was like, oh shit!
So we can't have
Danny
Danny.
not living. I was like,
We can't have Casa G, so we'll have F3. I
Go
guess
on.
Co-Andy
Bran
and
and Andy.
Bran. Yeah, we'll also have our 3rd, 4th and 5th places. So good on the
Oh.
results then. FTRL Danny wins despite that penalty by 0.17 of a second there. Fantastic job from Danny today. Casa G up 1, just coming up short for the second time this season, but I think I'll be happy with P2. And F3 banks his 3rd podium of the season in P3. Co-Andy comes home P4. He started 16th with Bran P5, starting 19th again. Great job there from those two starting down the back. FTRL Panda P6 after battling for a podium early on. Hijack recovers to P7. Next is Iceman P8 after first lap dramas. Pagani comes through to P9, and IRL Neon takes the final points paying position in P10. Just wait for the guys to join us for the interviews. And here we go.
I think they're all here.
And we are all here. So, no race winner, no P2, but we've got our 3rd, 4th and 5th place finishers. So congratulations everybody. Great race. I'm coming to you, Felix, first. 3rd podium of the season. It's going very well for you so far.
Yeah, quite good start to the season. Didn't have the pace for the win today, sadly. Could have gained some good points on Bran, but you know, it just wasn't meant to be. My pace was not that great. Those guys in P1 and P2 did a great job. They really deserved it today. I think our pace was equal on the second stint pretty much. The gap was always around like 6 seconds, I think, apart from one mistake I made. But yeah, generally it's going quite well, and hopefully I'll be able to keep up that podium streak I have right now.
Indeed, yeah. Hot form streak for you at the moment. And so we were watching you having a great battle there. Obviously, Danny and Kasaji were kind of battling for the lead, and then you were battling quite hard with FTRL Panda there. Some good scraps there in the early part of the race.
Yeah, it was great fun. I mean, I don't quite know what happened then into turn one. I think he just misjudged the braking. I was just braking at my usual braking point into turn one, and then I think he just kind of braked himself and went into the back of me, which was kind of sad because it killed the racing between us, and obviously damaged his front wing and had to pit. It could have been fun towards the end, but obviously it's a bit better for me. And because of my 3-second time penalty, I think it would have been quite difficult to keep the podium.
Indeed. I mean, how was do you think you could have done anything about the top two if you'd done obviously you yourself and Panda ran a lap longer in that first stint there, and that kind of opened that gap up between yourself and the top two. Do you sort of regret running that extra lap, or do you think that those two would have got away from you anyway?
Yeah, in the end, I would say that was a mistake. Obviously, we got stuck behind Pagani for a lap, which definitely cost us a bit of time. And yeah, I thought the mediums usually go down till the end quite massively, but through the fact that we all had fresh softs to start on because of the glitch we had and the restart we had to do, that was fine. And if I could change something now, I definitely would have pitted a lap earlier, and maybe the gap wouldn't have been as big as it was then. And they were costing each other quite a lot of time because of their fights, so maybe I could have, if I would have gotten into that 1 second window and then kept up with the DRS, then maybe I could have done something. But yeah. Still
podium finishes not to sniff that. So looking ahead to round 4 then, it's Suzuka in Japan. How do you feel about Suzuka as a circuit? One you enjoy? One you're not looking forward to?
I think it's a great track. It's a lot of fun to drive, obviously with the first sector, with the S's, and it's a very unique track as well. Quite bumpy though, which is going to be interesting, especially out of that last corner. With the traction, it's very difficult. But I think it should be solid, and I'm definitely aiming. My target is again to get another podium, hopefully, to keep up that streak. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Haven't started practicing yet, but it's gonna start in the course of the week, and then I'll have to wait and see. But hopefully, I can still be able to fight Bran for that championship.
Indeed. Well, great job today on P3, and hopefully we'll be speaking to you again next week.
Thank you very much.
That brings us on to our P4 finisher. That would be Co-Andy. Well done tonight, mate. Fantastic drive through the field. I did actually say that you would have a Stormer pre-race, so thanks for making me look like I know what I'm talking about. I did say podium, but we didn't quite get there. But just talk us through it to us about it from your point. I mean, I suppose the first thing to worry about was surviving Eau Rouge and Radion.
Which I got quite lucky with, because I was just in front of the incident with Rom and Cat, I believe, which they both sent spinning, and I managed just to avoid Cat at the top of Radion. And from there on it was quite straightforward. I wasn't too looking forward to this race. My pace, for some reason, was just nowhere. From qualifying, I just had no pace, and from there I'm surprised I finished 4th with how my pace was. But another, I'd say, average, keep out of trouble race for me, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I mean the alternate strategy seemed to work out and pay dividends. You sort of matching Bran on the medium stint, and then after you came out the pitch, you were maybe a little bit off that pace, like you say. You did say you were struggling for pace, but still were a strong enough drive to come through to finish P4.
I was looking to keep it consistent, and as my setup wasn't great, but my setup was stable, especially for the Eau Rouge and Radion, which is what I aim for every Belgium race, and that was spot on. So I was just happy to keep it on track all the way around. Say no tank slappers. It was just keep it on the track, keep out of trouble, and finish as high as possible. I'm very happy to finish 4th, especially with the pace I didn't have.
Yep. Right, so as Lee said, we're going on to Japan next week. How have you all gone around there in the past, and what are you expecting for next week's race?
I quite like Japan. I know the strategy. I know how far I can take my tyres, which whether it's a bonus for me, I couldn't say, but I'm quite confident. I think I am actually looking forward to this one. I'm hoping. I never used to say this, but I'm actually looking forward to going for a podium this race. I used to say points is my main target, but with Japan, I think I could get a podium with how my pace is around there.
Well, in that case, we look forward to speaking to you next week, mate. No, seriously, best of luck next week, and well done tonight.
Thank you very much.
So, Bran, from P19, I imagine you're probably pretty happy with P5.
Well, yeah, P5's good. Hopefully it'll be P4 if I get a pen removed. It's a second pen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a fun race. That car just up at Radion Al Rouge, just snaking away through that. It was quite scary. And then from there, I made a few moves, and on the alternate strategy, I think helped me. But yeah, P5 or maybe P4 is good.
Well, you've had a good start to the season. Obviously, you got third in the first race, and I think you won the second race, didn't you, last week? So far, it's been a quite good start. So I take it you're quite happy with how it's been so far?
Well, in terms of results, yeah, but I think it could have been more. Obviously, I made a mistake last week in qualifying, which got myself this qualifying ban. And in Canada, I bottled qualifying, so I think it could have been more, maybe. But it's still a good start to the season, yeah.
Well, as was said, next week is Suzuka, or Japan. So are you hoping for kind of a similar result, maybe on the podium next week again?
Well, yeah, maybe for the podium. Suzuka's a fun track. I like the track. It's a wheel track as well, that's what everyone says. I like wheels, that's good. And hopefully it'll be raining. I like the rain. You can't get rain in Suzuka, so full wet race is what we want. Yeah.
Well, hopefully you have a little bit of rain then. That will make the race very interesting for us next week. But congratulations, and hope your good run continues.
Thanks.
So that wraps up the action for Div 1 for this week. But of course, do not forget we've got Div 2 action coming to you from Spa tomorrow. So you'll see how myself, Blue Flag, and Zach get on. Hopefully we'll be able to deliver a race as good as quality with as much action as we've seen tonight. And that is 8 o'clock tomorrow night, so do tune in for that. But for this evening, thank you very much for joining us as ever. I can't think of it. It's definitely cold out there, so what better way to spend your Tuesday evening than sat at home watching your phone screen or laptop screen, depending on how you're watching us. But thank you very much for joining us. We much appreciate it for listening to our ramblings. We're going to sign off now, and we will see you tomorrow for Div 2. But thank you very much for joining us, and good night.